This is not the Church of Emmanuel, Christ of Latter-day Saints, of Joseph Smith. This is the Church of Jesus Christ. When we remove the Lord's name, Emmanuel, from the name of his church, we inadvertently remove him as the central focus of our worship and our lives.
Travis, my good soul. So, at about 4 o'clock here, I finally caught up with the necessary daily chores. Despite the interruptions and failures of the day. I'm trying to recall Jasmine's comment reply that didn't get posted, because this is a Jasmine comment reply also. So I think she was asking about the Christ and wondering what the name of the Christ is and how it applies to other Jewish scriptures. So I'll just quickly summarize it here. Jesus is well known only because of Constantine. Jesus was written by a Jew, and several Jews actually, because there's several different books with the name Jesus. So you have Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, all calling their Christ Jesus. You have others that didn't get published in the New Testament because the Catholic Roman Constantine Church said no. So the Gospel of Thomas, Judas, and others. And then there's the Old Testament Jesus that is after the book of Deuteronomy. And so Jesus is a Jewish name in Greek. It's called transliteration. It's from the Hebrew Yahshua. And as I always have to keep reminding people, I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. It is not a phonetic language. It is a pictographic, ideographic language. It's a visionary language. You're supposed to see the words, the letters combined together to understand what is being communicated. And so I don't care about phonetics and all that stuff. Our society today, people get offended and want to murder people if you don't pronounce names and words correctly. That's stupid. But there are other names of the Christ. It's just because of Constantine, nobody knows that that's what that is. And so you've got in Genesis a number of Christ names being all combined into a narrative. And then the Exodus, the name of the Christ is Moses. So Deuteronomy says that the actual Christ will be a man like Moses from the Exodus account. And thus all the Jewish authors wrote their stories with their different names of Christ, patterning it after the Exodus account. And so you have 8 days of Passover, the Jesus guy from the Gospel authors, 8 days of Passion Week. It's not supposed to be Passion Week, it's Passover. He's supposed to be the man like Moses. And so he did not exist during the Roman period time. He's the future Christ that the Jews are talking about. Because the Jews are not Christian, Jesus is not their Christ. It should be very simple and basic. but everybody wants to be an anti-Semite and declare it openly. As I'm not going to get to the comment replies either, it looks like. Mormons are evil. And so I hope that answered your question. If I didn't answer something, please ask again. I got an email response from the guy on Reddit. Some weeks back, in my video, I went to check on myself online and found the Reddit post where people were calling me a heretic, and they had no clue who I am. They were just grateful to have a place to lie to people with their hatred. And so, yeah, I laughed and mocked them for being stupid, not even bothering to know who I am. And so apparently somebody else commented on his post on Reddit, and so he communicated through academia and wanted me to reply to that post, which was a link to a guy who did a thing. You watch the movies and TV shows where somebody goes up to somebody popular to have them listen to their demo. Even the LMFAO group band in their big popular dance music video. And the guy says, I'm not going to listen to your demo. I'm not going to listen to your demo. Or if you saw the movie The Core with Aaron Eckhart, former Mormon, he goes up to Zinski. I think it's Zinski. I think is the professor's name, who also is the government council person, and asked him to look at the paper. And likewise, he said, I'm not signing autographs. Don't you know who I am? And so, yeah, this is what these guys are doing, but they're not qualified as intelligent. This is academia. If you are not going to use scientific methodology, you do not belong on academia. And you don't belong going and asking for response comment replies to bullying comments and unintelligent, non-scientific papers. So, really like the movie The Core. It was in Utah. That's where it was based. Unobtainium. And so, yeah. I really need you in my life, Jasmine. You give me something to laugh at, rather than all of the hate that keeps threatening me to deny Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon as the learning of the Jews. And so, Utah restores Brigham Young segregated bathrooms. It's passed the House now. And there was one Nazi woman in the legislature who was trying to make a claim that was just absurd to try to prevent this from happening, to getting passed into law. Wrong argument to make. All you have to do is say, hey, Nazi Germany was bad. Why are we going back to Nazi Germany? The South, with their black segregation, was bad. Why are we going back and repeating history of the South with LGBTQIAPO+? The 14th Amendment, Section 1, says they already automatically get equal rights. And so the bathrooms all need to be made unisex. So it's going to be a little bit difficult in the schools because they have the men's lockers and the girls' lockers, and they'd have to redesign it for individual people to use the bathrooms. But there's a YouTube video I saw some time back where a woman is caught in the men's locker room, and she hears them coming and realizes, oh no, they're going to catch me. And so she pretends to go to the urinal to go to the bathroom. And then the sweetest thing, I found that yesterday. I was trying to find something for a Jasmine comment, and I was reminded of the sweetest thing movie. Cameron Diaz and the other woman. But yeah, they likewise. There's the scene where they go into the truck stop and into the men's bathroom, and they have to use the urinals. Hilarious. And so, yeah, Utah just doesn't care. I've told you that the church is the enemy. They've always sided with other enemies that branched off from the core enemy from which the Danites came from. And so that's why the South in Utah is the land of Dixie. That's why the church supported Nazi Germany, Moroni and the swastika. And the CTR ring came from the KKK. And so also why they're funding terrorist groups around the world to cause the Armageddon War, as well as supporting MAGA, giving the order for support for Trump through Mike Lee. Seditious conspirator. The country failed to be overthrown in 2020, and so the church had to go to Plan B, and here we are for Plan B. And it's not Plan B Parenthood. The church overthrew that. Yes, the church. They put in the Supreme Court justices. They compromised the Supreme Court justices. I've been doing all the videos. I've tied them to the Council for National Policy. Just because I'm not going over that in this video, just because you don't study, that doesn't make you an expert. You don't know. So anyway, hey Travis, ready for a convert conversation? You bet. Calm my troubled heart. He came over and brought some key lime pie. Oh, lemon meringue is my favorite. That's James's favorite though. When he asked for a cup of James's Cuban coffee, Cuba, Cuba, I asked, wasn't he not supposed to drink coffee? Oh. Tainted just after baptism when purified. He said he could. He will just have to ask forgiveness for it. Is that what the missionaries are teaching? Oh, dear God. Is that how they got on their mission? That has been a phase in the church. I remember that phase. I think it was back in the 90s, as leaders were then having to come out and say, no, that's not how repentance works. You don't commit sin and then ask forgiveness before going on your mission. God. Mormons are always trying to find loopholes in the church. And it's like, why are you bothering to be a Mormon if you're just going to try to find loopholes? Obviously, the church isn't true. Because if it were true, you wouldn't want to find a loophole to violate the church. Because you'd believe it was true. It's one of those no-brainers, and yet they become hardliners after their repentance, which I think is why my mom became such a hardliner. There's some things about my mom's past that she never talked about. Anyway, it all has to do with Elvis. I saw the movie. It creeped me out. Oh my God, that could have been my mom. Oh. She was a big Elvis fan until he started doing drugs, and then he no longer existed. He was dead. And then he did die. I had your YT page up on the 42-inch monitor. Oh, YouTube page, okay. 42-inch, huh? Wow. I guess size does matter. And so is this charity, Jasmine? Talking to me now? After giving you my foot size. And he saw this thumbnail. What? Oh, the restroom one. Okay. He heard we were planning on attending a service and told us that the church he attends is wanting to have more Black and Latin members. Oh, God. You know you're racist when... I think having just one black friend may not be enough to prove to people that I'm not racist. I'm gonna go pay people to be my friend so that I'll have more black friends. To show that they were not racist. Oh, God. I asked why would they not want just more members and not just minorities. Yeah, because if it was the true church, all people would recognize it and join. You wouldn't have to try to trick certain races, sexes, and other type of groups to get them in. It always backfires once you have that as your focus. Like on the mission, if you're focused about numbers, yeah, you'll fail. If you're focused on getting elders into the church, men into the church, so that you can get more elders, so that you can turn a branch into a ward, nope, you're going to fail, and the branch will have to split in two, and then eventually the mission will have to split in two. Ooh, I'm talking from experience, aren't I? Yeah, the Bronx branch. I was sent there to finish my mission and get a membership record for the branch. For years, couple missionaries were screwing things up and making a big old mess. And so McFarland and I were sent in to fix it, and we did. And having a membership record, the Relief Society was then able to have visiting teaching and get people into callings to get that going. And then they realized, okay, we're just short this number of elders in order to turn it into a ward. And so then the call went out to the mission field, convert more men. And that's not a good thing to do. Because what do you do when it's just women who want to hear the message? The branch literally was that massive with women and children. And so if the church was true, dear God, yeah, we're definitely going to need polygamy in the millennium. But apparently in Utah, that's not the case. Apparently in Utah, there's more men who are not married than women who are not married. It's just the women outnumber the men with activity and participation. And so it's mostly single men that just give up on the church. And it's because of you, women. You weren't charitable. You were focused on your 42-inch monitor, making them feel bad. I saw Bill Maher overtime. So I finally got sex ed. Because the church won't teach it. And so my dad didn't teach it. Where was Bill when I was a kid? With my 13 and wides. Oh, dear God. He told us, finally, that the missionaries feel they blew their chance with us. Yeah, fence sitter, yeah, you blew it. About the fence sitting thing with James. That is why Fisk came here. Now, and Fisk failed. He actually doesn't think that Brigham started the racist stuff. Ooh, he did not read the Gospel Topics essays. Race and the Priesthood throws Brigham under the bus, which means the church isn't true, but I asked just how much he knew about Brigham Young. He said he didn't know a lot, and that was the video topic that didn't get posted. Is investigators are not taught everything they need to know. They are only given a little bit to trick them to join, giving them the impression that that's the way the church is, and so they join. And so, thus, the trick of claiming we're Christian with Jesus, even though the missionaries will tell people, yeah, Heavenly Father and Jesus are separate beings. And so Christians are like, well, it's still Jesus. Okay, this makes it a real Jesus. And so when they join, they don't realize. And yeah, I did send Jasmine the thumbnail picture. The one without the meme on it. And so yeah, there's the whole temple thing. There's the responsibilities as a Mormon, the paying of tithing. You're told to pay tithing once you finally get to it, but that's usually after you've covenanted to go through and be baptized and join the church. Then they finish off the rest of the lessons, and they got to make sure that you're attending church at least 3 times in a row and following that commitment pattern, which is what they did to James and Jasmine here. Is that the first thing, hey, we're the missionaries, have you heard about the Book of Mormon? Here it is, read it. We'll come back in a week and see what you think. And then they're supposed to read, ponder, and pray and get the right feeling to join the church. And so they didn't. They studied, got the wrong feeling. And so then the missionaries had to do damage control, bringing up fence sitters, and not able to answer correctly on polygamy for Jasmine. There's I think it was over 200 at least, women with children in the Bronx branch from 52 different nations. Dear God. But they failed to follow the missionary guidebook that's supposed to teach them how to do this right. And they've got a whole new book now that tells them to embrace their feelings, and it's all crap. But my mission guide taught us all about that thing, how to, trick people. And so, you get these missionaries who think, oh, it's just like being a salesman. No. No. It's more like a pyramid scheme. You pay the church to then go out and recruit other people to pay the church. And then pay to go out and recruit people to pay the church. That's a pyramid scheme by definition. And if you don't like that word because it's not faith promoting, we can use multi-level marketing scam. It means the same thing. It is a crime. And so I don't understand why our government, other than it's Utah government protecting the church on this, so that other corporations then go, oh, we're protected on pyramid scams here in Utah? Okay, well, we'll start USANA and doTERRA and other pyramid scams. King Noah. But, dear God. And so, the missionaries failed to be missionaries. And that's why you can't have little kids going out on missions. The Doctrine and Covenants says, no, don't do it that way. What are you thinking? First, learn about the scriptures and about the church. Then you can go out and explain it to people. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to blame me. Call me a heretic. So, then Jasmine, you're so awesome, Jasmine, showed him the link from the Joseph Smith papers on Brigham Young, that he was a polygamist while Joseph Smith was alive, number 30. She even put the link for me. It's so cute. And see with the... Oh, yeah. Dear God. That was Brigham Young, when he was going around to house while the husband was away, he raped the wife. And of course, the wife couldn't say anything because then she'd be considered a witch and then she'd get in trouble with the law. Dear God. Admitted to Council of 50? No, that's when he started the Council of 50. Oh, dear God. You have to understand that the Joseph Smith papers were organized and put up on the internet by Royal Skousen and others loyal to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So you need to see through some of this crap that they're trying to lie about and cover up. similar to Wikipedia page on the church. You can always see the Mormons influencing in the Wikipedia pages to fool the world. And I don't know if you've heard the video where I talk about this, Jasmine, but Heber C. Kimball was a polygamist before even joining the church. He had knocked up a woman in 1829, and you can only know about that through the access through their genealogy. Which, yeah, me, through one of the women of the Kimballs. And so the Hoops are part of that. That's how I found out, because I'm a family member. And so somewhere in my file is the documented information. And so don't get on me just because I chose not to memorize. I have associative memory. I get references to refer to. And so, yeah, Heber and Brigham Young joined the church to destroy it. It's their secret practice of polygamy. It's their secret economy, so that they paid the Judas price to murder Joseph and Hiram, and then to flee the Mormons that they converted and head off with the Vanguard Company here to the valley. And then, when America took over their kingdom the very next year, that's when Brigham Young, the next year after that, started the Perpetual Immigration Fund, which was human trafficking. And because of polygamy, sex trafficking. And the church got shut down by the United States for that, with the Edmunds-Tucker Act, 1887. But the church still tried to practice polygamy, and they still practiced tithing. They just don't care about the law of the land. They don't want nothing to do with Joseph or the Book of Mormon. They just use Joseph and the Book of Mormon for their purposes and change them so to justify committing their crimes and abominations. He saw that and says, I can see your Kentucky accent in your typing, Jasmine. So cute. President of the whole Church of the Latter-day Saints. Number 39. Okay, we'll go back and bring it up. $39 is governor of Utah Territory. Did I get that right? Number 39. President of the whole Church of the Latter-day Saints. It's number 36. Recognized as President of the whole Church of Latter-day Saints. Ooh. At conference in Nauvoo, April 7th, 1845. Yeah, that was a typing error. It should have been, but they do have it in quotes. Let's see the note. General Church Minutes. So link me to it, guys. That's the Brigham Young papers we'd have to go to find that one. But that's interesting. But 1845, yeah, it would still be in Nauvoo. Yeah. Hilarious. which was the original name of Joseph Smith's church before it was hijacked. Yeah. And they even kept it going when Joseph Smith got out of Liberty Jail. They kept it. That was the secret Danite mockery through the whole time. They were going out on missions, telling the wrong name of the church, and even the missionary certifications that Joseph Smith gave, the one in 1835 from Section 107, all of those licenses have the right name of the church because they were by Joseph. But Brigham Young's to England, different signature of Joseph, wrong name of the church. Can you say forged license? Very good, boys and girls. Yeah. So Joseph Smith Papers exposes this church and destroys it. And Mormons won't do it. Because the video that Jasmine is commenting on, yeah, it's got 20 views last I saw. 20. Everybody came to Nelson's funeral video. It was about 1.7 thousand now. 20 views for segregation in Utah. But Nelson dying? Yeah. I mean, passing. And yeah, add a couple more comments that would need to be included in the video, which I will never be able to get to, it looks like. He said it still is Joseph's church. Oh my God. Look, I produced a papaya from an apple seed. It's an apple. No, it's not. Or a banana. It's not a banana. It's supposed to be an apple. But no, it's from the same seed. From the same seed. It's an apple. It's not a banana or a papaya. And I bet you're a fairy princess too, aren't you? Oh yeah. I guess he got mad at James because he got up and left. Oh, wait a minute. James started laughing. I would too. Like I did. These are not the droids you're looking for. It's the same church as Joseph's. That's exactly what Mormons are doing. And it was done to them. Nelson does that. Oh my God. I'm going to make that thumbnail picture. Speeder, droids, pick. Did I have a song? I didn't write it down, so if I did, I forgot it. Yeah. Oh, merciful heavens. So yeah, I now just need to, it's 4:30 now. So I really didn't get to do much of my own personal hobby after doing the chores, which is women's fashion. Done it since I was a kid because of my mom. She didn't want me to do women's fashion. But that's the way I am. You tell me I can't do something, I want to do it. If you won't let me see something, I want to see it. You can't cover it up and hide it from me, women. And so, yeah, I had the Sears catalog set on the kitchen table before 13-inch wide. And so we were supposed to do collages of furniture and toys. And I kept going and found women in women's fashion. And so, yeah, that intrigued me and fascinated me because I'm told I'm not supposed to look at it. And so, yeah, I had to literally secretly go into the garage where it was getting thrown away and rip the pages out then and then sneak them back into my bedroom so that nobody would know that I had them. And then one Christmas, my sisters got fashion plates. It was the generic version, not the Barbie fashion plates, which I prefer the generic version anyway. Maybe that's just because I was a kid and I bonded with it. Not the definition I gave you, Jasmine. And so, yeah, I had to knock on my sister's bedroom door and say, "Can I play with the fashion plates, please?" And I was under strict orders to do it right there at the door. They closed the door after giving it to me, and I could not take it anywhere else. It had to be right there on the floor. And so, yeah, I would play with their toy, which they stopped playing real quick. Whereas me, yeah, I loved it. And so when I was in West Valley, I did the whole video thing of me getting fashion plates and showing it to you. And I was able to keep it and transfer it here, whereas many other things did not make it here, like my mom's final letter before she died. And so, yeah, that's what I do with digital stuff now. It's like fashion paradise. And so, yeah, I have to, it's not just collecting pictures. It's also going back to the fashion plates in which you have a template of a woman. And then I've learned that PNGs can be used on pictures. And so I've also hunt for clothing apparel in PNG form and accessories and stuff like that. And so that's part of the big project that I got going. And so getting videos, making video clips, and then pulling out snapshots from the videos. And yeah, it's a big old hobby of mine. All thanks to my mom, who did not want me to go into this. She thinks it's porn, as do Mormons. And so it's a shame that women shame themselves because the church lies. What are you doing? Don't want you to do that. I just found out I can move tabs into different positions. Dear God. What is wrong with you, Google? So, yeah, that's awesome that Jasmine has been sending me pictures of AIs that she's been making and such, and her videos on her channel. That's awesome. Keep it up.